So I've figured out how Nvidia will make me thousands of dollars. It's already a $2 trillion company. It's up 500% in the last 2 years. But despite this, I think I can make some money. Let me show you how. So before I go over that strategy, I just want to explain it's going to be using options trading. Just remembering that this is high risk. You need to have constant market awareness. You need to have high capital, so money in the bank ready to use, and you have to understand the company at a higher level. Again, do not copy my trading. I'm just showing you how I do it. And obviously you got to take responsibility for your own money. Therefore, if you lose it, it's on you and not on me. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. So for the people that are new to options trading, you can give this a look and then paper trade, understand it, and come back in a couple of years time if you're interested in this kind of strategy, but it's all dependent on you. So here are just the basic things that you need to understand about premium, strike prices, expiration date, understanding the underlying stock, which in this case for me is Nvidia, what a call option is and what a put option is. Just a general summary. So let's get into how I'm actually making money from this. So the first thing we have to do is have a look at the Nvidia chart. Now what I decided to do was sell a put option because I'm going to be trying to wheel Nvidia stock. And don't worry, for the people that are new to this, I've got a whole playlist on how to do options and the way I'm doing it, so then you can learn over time. Give them a watch, but I'll put a link at the end of this video. The strike price was $110, and I've got it here that at the time the stock price was $120. Now what I did is I did this at 21 DTE, which is days of expiry, so I'm giving myself about 3 or 4 weeks of this play. So I gave myself a delta of 25. What this means is it gives me a higher probability to be able to keep the money by selling the option. This is actually the quick summary of the date, and you see the probability of profit is at 79%. So again, it's 21% obviously in risk, and this is what you have to understand about options trading, that it is pretty risky. Then well, it's not pretty risky, it's like extreme risk, right? So you got to be able to be prepared to take the very big downs that options trading can do, but you can also take the big highs which it can achieve as well. But yeah, that's totally on you. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. So this has got a lot of information, but over here is the actual trade I did the 1st of March. This is just an Excel sheet that I have. The yellow there is actually my open plays that I've currently have, and we can see here that I got paid $3.11 for selling this put option, which equates to $311 US. And down here is the market data for this trade. Now it says max loss is $10,000, which is quite a lot, and it is a little bit scary, but understand that that's actually if the stock price was to go, or Nvidia was absolute go to $0, because that shows us how they manage the stock price, right? And then they've also got the max return, which is $310 for myself if the stock price, which I'll explain a little bit later, is above $110, because I don't want to be assigned to this, although you know, I might be assigned to it, but I don't really want to be assigning to it because I want to keep selling put options for getting this kind of income. That's the strategy that I'm trying to do here. However, if it does end up going lower than $110, well, that's fine, because say it goes to $105 or $100 Nvidia stock, well, then I'm going to have to be required to buy the stock off this person for $110. So if the event that Nvidia does actually fall below $110, well, that's the risk on me, because I basically said, yes, I'm going to buy it at this date here, and that's going to be automatically assigned to me. What I can then do is then sell calls on it to make passive income. Ideally, that's not what I want. What I want to do is keep selling put options in there. So I do want the price to be above 110, but that's just the risk that you carry with this kind of strategy. So just going back to the chart again, it's just showing you this is where I did it. So I will have to buy the stock. Say for example, it has a dramatic drop into like $100 or the $90 mark. I'm going to have to buy it, and at a price of 110, which was the strike price. This is the part of the deal where they pay me $311 if I take up this contract with them. So how does this all work out? Well, on the left hand side there, I've done the yearly calculation. This is what you do with the options premium, just to see how much of a return you're getting at 21 days. So basically, if we were to spread this out for a whole year, which is just the way you work it out if you were to do it over 360 days, then that is actually a massive return of 48%. This number here is just sort of to give you an indication of how much it is per year, because the options that you do, they come in different days, different expiries, different lengths of premium, the stock price, all that counts to it. So the only way to really understand it and to have one common denominator is you just do ARR, which is an annual rate of return. So typically I'm not always going to get this deal, and because it is very close to at the money, or pretty close to this to the stock price already, that's why I've got quite a high delta on it, and that's why I'm getting more premium, which means that it's more riskier, but I'm getting more money in return for it. So that's just just gives you the calculation in there of how I've worked it out. Here is also the things that you have to understand about options trading. So the main ones here, you can pause the video here and give each of these a read, but basically it's delta, theta, gamma, vega, and rho. Trust me, I'm not an expert in exactly what all those things do. I do have a fair idea of, you know, what they do, but exactly how to fix the prices, I'm not 100% clear on that. But even there, I've decided what those risks are, and I'm willing to take this trade because I'm willing to own the company even if it does fall below that $110 mark. So just having a look at that deal, it's March 21st now in New Zealand, which means the market will be March 21st tomorrow in the US, but we can see what has actually happened to that option. So hopefully you can see that there, and we'll just go to the Nvidia options. So right here, hopefully you can see that the current price of that is -$6. So basically if I was to close it, which I wouldn't, right? So we can see here it's got the cost basis of 309, which was 311, but it's got some fees in there, so it's just showing you 309. But what's happened now is because Nvidia is way higher than $110, this option has actually gone down all the way down to only being $6. So what I could do is I could buy this back, take that away from that, and basically I get to keep, or I made $303 US. But what I'll more likely do is I probably won't end up closing this. I'll just let it expire because I doubt Nvidia is going to drop that much. Keep that extra $5. That can pay for the fees. And then effectively I would end up keeping the whole $311 or $309. So this would be a successful trade in the put option where I'm wheeling Nvidia stock. I then have to sort of figure out if I want to do another put, find another stock price, and then get paid income for that over the next 3 or 4 weeks again if I was going to do a similar trade, which I am, because that's what I'm doing. I'm wheeling Nvidia stock for income. Now we can see you do need high capital because you need what, $110 times 100 shares. So you actually need 11,000 US dollars to be able to do this. As you can see from my account, I've got excess liquidity of $14,000. So in case I do get assigned, I'm going to have to buy all those shares. So you do have to be careful. What you can always do is do some advanced tactics where you can roll the option down, but that's for another video. And in here, I've got my 4 separate charts which monitors Nvidia stock and how I determine my strike prices. So we've got that's the 1 minute, the 1 hour, the weekly, or the daily and the weekly, and we can see here that the $110, let's have a look at this on the hourly mark. $110 is quite far away from the $117, so it would have to sort of go downwards quite a lot to be able to be in the money. So just a general summary, that is how I am wheeling Nvidia stock and how I'm making money from it, even though it is a $2.9 trillion company already. We can see there it's provided me with roughly about 505 New Zealand dollars for the month, or it's only 21 days, but I'll just call it a month, right? Because by the time I do another option, it'll take another week or so while I figure out which strike price I want to do. Again, thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions about this, let me know and I'll do my best to answer them. If you want to support me, feel free to use my referral codes down below. The trading platform I use is Interactive Brokers, Hatch Invest, Stake, and Sharesies for individual companies, and I use InvestNow for index funds. If you want to start investing, you can use any of my referral codes down below to start your own investing journey if you are from New Zealand. I highly recommend using Interactive Brokers from New Zealand, but again, this is a full trading platform for stock markets. I wouldn't consider it basic. It's, you know, you kind of need to be in the markets, understand what you are doing, because there's some serious money here on the table. If you want to hear more from me, you can head over to Instagram where I show my trades and whatnot in my stories, and you'll hear from me every other day, so pop on over there. If you want to help me out, hit like and subscribe and watch my videos a couple of times if you want to get that watch hours out, so eventually I do get paid by YouTube, as right now I don't get paid any money apart from my options trading. I talk about personal finance, property investing every now and then, and obviously my stock market journey. And if you are interested in options trading, have a look at these videos that will pop up in this playlist. Give them a watch, and it just shows you examples of what I've been doing and how I've been making real money off this. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.